Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I'm just going to go ahead and give you an update on the whole Fukushima thing. Earlier today, I had reported that there could have been a possible meltdown in Fukushima Daiichi Unit 3. And basically, what has recently happened was a news article that had just broken, was released by E&E News. They're reporting on what the Fair Winds Energy Education is reporting, run by Arnie Gunderson, a top nuclear scientist. Basically, they've come out and had discussed within this article that I will link down below that the recent steam that had been photographed or videotaped was not related to any new disaster or new explosion. It's actually really related to the previous explosion back in March 2011, March 11, 2011, when we had that major earthquake down over in Japan, the earthquake and the tsunami. So basically what's really been going on is I'm going to go ahead and read this first paragraph. Fairwinds Energy Education is reporting January 1, 2014, the internet has been flooded with conjecture claiming that Fukushima Daiichi Unit 3 is ready to explode. Fairwinds Energy Education has been inundated with questions about the very visible steam emanating from Fukushima Daiichi Unit 3. Hot water vapor has been released daily by each of the four Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plants since the accident. We believe that is one of the reasons TEPCO placed covers over Daiichi 4 and 1. Radioactive rubble fission products was left in each unit. Heat from the ongoing decay of radioactive rubble is constantly releasing moisture, steam, and radioactive products into the environment. Unit 3 is still producing slightly less than 1 megawatt, 1 million watts of decay heat. It is creating radioactive steam. Hot radioactive releases have occurring sick for the entire 33 months. The difference now is that the only time we visibly notice these ongoing releases is on the cold days, on the cold and rainy days. It's sort of like when, well, maybe it's not like this exactly, a little bit more complex, but let me just use sort of a simple analogy to this. It's like when it gets really cold outside, right? And you walk outside and you could see your breath. You could see when you're breathing because fog comes out of your mouth. Or if it's really cold, it comes out of your mouth, it comes out of your nose. The point is that's exactly what is happening to the nuclear power plant, is because the fuel rods are exposed and because the fuel rods themselves are so hot with radioactive material, they're meeting the cold temperatures, the environment, and because of that, that's what is producing the steam. Of course, it's reasonable to think that maybe there was a second nuclear meltdown. And of course, we all know that, especially Fukushima Daiichi Unit 4, that building, that particular building, is really unstable. And people do fear for that building because of the fact that it's even tipping. And because it's tipping, the foundation isn't exactly where it needs to be for the fuel rods to stay safe, so to speak. But that is really what's going on. There wasn't a second explosion like that had previously reported, but I did say that it wasn't a confirmed report. That original report came out of a news site called Gizmodo. So it really kind of a questionable source. Like I said, it wasn't confirmed. So, but I thought I'd report on it anyways, given the fact that the United States had just ordered a massive amount of radioactive iodine pills. You know, especially since it had been reported that all these sailors for the one of the major U.S. aircraft carriers have been getting sick because of the fact that they had to go and help out Japan in the aftermath of the tsunami and the earthquake. So that's, like I said, that's what's pretty much what's going on. The article, the name of the article is Gunderson. Very visible steam at Fukushima Unit 3 is from constant radioactive releases coming from hot rubble not related to a new explosion. And it really, it's just going back to what I said earlier. When you look at these news articles and you look at the stories, the powers that be aren't going to tell you the truth. They're not going to do it because it's going to hurt their bottom line. Now, what as an individual can you do to figure out what is really happening? Well, you have to learn how to think critically. In addition to learning how to think critically, you need to be able to put things together sort of like a jigsaw puzzle. Okay? And think of the social structure as that game where you take the bricks and you take them out of the structure, and if you take the wrong one, then the structure falls apart. Well, that's sort of the game that the elite themselves are playing. Okay? They built the structure, and they have to play this PR game very, very carefully. And if they just mess up just a little bit in their PR game, then the whole structure just falls apart. And I believe that is what's happening here. Is that all this information is coming out. Some of it may be accurate, some of it may not be accurate. However, they're playing this game. The mainstream media and the government, they're playing this tiptoe game, and while everybody is trying to uncover what is actually really going on. And like I said, the minute that they screw up, the structure comes tumbling down. That is definitely something to keep in mind when you're looking at economic news, when you're looking at political news. Now, here's another example of what I'm talking about. Now, right here in the Northeast, we're expecting a major snowstorm, okay? For us, for people who've grown up around this area, it's really nothing new. 5 to 10 inches, big deal. It's still very dangerous. It's still not wise to be out there driving, especially in the aftermath of it when all the snow is still on the roads. You want to be as careful as you can if you're out there. But what has been going on the last few years is that the National Weather Service and the news have been using these storms as a way to fearmonger people and to freak people out. So instead of just like hurricanes, they're now naming winter storms. I forget the name of this particular storm, but it's just they're doing, when you watch these news segments about it and you see the fact now that, because school starts back up again tomorrow and so on and so forth, they're already canceling school. Let me see, it's 8:02 right now, and they're already showing cancellations for schools. And it's like I said, it's this PR game, and they have to play it very carefully, or otherwise the structure falls apart. So when they go out and announce that we're going to have a major weather storm, you have to, it's the end of the world or something, and they name the storm itself. It's specifically designed to get you to react their way, and if they screw up, if the timing is off. See, they've been warning they've been warning about this storm for about a week now. And of course, if they had started warning about it now, they never would have been able to close schools. They never would have been able to fearmonger for people to go to the stores and buy the major products that people normally would buy during prior to a snowstorm. Now this brings me to another point too, is that in terms of preparedness. Now I wouldn't consider myself a prepper, but when we do have these massive winter storms, usually the day prior to the winter storms is when all the grocery stores are busy and people are there to stock up on supplies. Like I said, 9.9 times out of 10, there's never usually any real problems with these storms. However, it goes to show you that people don't think in advance, and they don't get the things that they need in order to survive. I mean, people have known about the storm for, like I said, for about a week now. Many of them could have gone to the store a few days ago, or 4 days ago, 5 days ago, whenever they needed to go to the store, but instead they waited up until today to go to the store and say, oh, you know, I think I'll stock up on bread and water now, and or milk and water. And we'll just do it now. And then you go to the store, you find out that a gallon of milk is $7. And as a matter of fact, someone on my Facebook had reported $7 a gallon of milk at the grocery store. I don't know which store in particular, but that is what I'm talking about. When you have these major events happening, of course, the snowstorm is nothing major. You know, the prices of things like milk and other essential items for what people need, they do go up. So that's just another lesson. I know at this point I'm kind of rambling on, and of course I want to thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Please subscribe, please thumbs up, thumbs down, whether you like me, you don't like me, please comment. I would love to hear some feedback from people, and especially people who are very knowledgeable about what's going on in Fukushima, especially people who really do read up on radioactive material and how that could affect other people's lives, because I think the more that we participate in this YouTube community, the more we learn from each other. So thank you, God bless, and take care. Bye.